In early August of 2024, news outlets started reporting Zac Efron was rushed to the hospital in Ibiza.
The 36-year-old was taken to a medical facility following a, quote, minor swimming incident at a villa on the island of Ibiza in Spain.
Sounds like a silly freak accident, right? Except hearing that the person who was just pulled out of a pool and rushed to the hospital hits different when the rescued person has a history of stints in rehab.
He's had issues with alcohol as well as coke and
seeing how other celebrities in recent years have had pool-related incidents where they were not pulled out in time, such as Matthew Perry and Aaron Carter, naturally, Zac Efron's fans and loved ones would be worried. But the concerning details don't stop there. The story of what actually happened seems really suspicious. So he was vacationing in Ibiza and staying at a Spanish villa. According to some sources, a full month into an island vacation when he allegedly dove too deep into a pool and hit his chest on the bottom, causing him to inhale a bunch of water. Reports say Zac came up from the water dazed, and even though friends were present, it was 2 on-site security guards that pulled him out of the water. What adds to the strangeness is that in some versions of the story, he's swimming with those friends who I guess didn't help him out of the pool, and in other versions, he was discovered by the staff, implying that he was swimming alone. In either case, Zac posted to his Instagram story not long after his hospitalization with this mostly thirst trap image, thanking people for their concern, saying, "Happy and healthy, thanks for the well wishes." But the plot twist in all of this that makes it even worse is that Zac Efron was yachting.
According to this new blind item and many blind items in the past, Zac Efron is allegedly a yacht boy for quote-unquote Svengali Mohammed Al-Turki.
For almost 2 decades, an anonymous entertainment lawyer posted vague descriptions of high-profile celebrities and businessmen and often referred to someone as the Svengali. This vanity name is revealed in this particular blind item to be Saudi Arabian film producer Mohammed Al-Turki. Blind items should always be taken with a grain of salt. But there are some really fascinating revelations, like how Zac was linked to Mohammed Al-Turki all the way back in 2012 in this blind item with photo evidence to boot. Zac was spotted in the south of France with both Mohammed and Alexandra Storm, a model who they noted usually travels the world with Mohammed. But this wasn't the first time Alexandra was seemingly paired up with Zac. The same thing happened back in New York last year. So how did Zac get involved with Mohammed? Well, remember how I said Mohammed is a film producer? Mohammed executive produced 9 films between 2010 and 2014, and one of those was the fittingly named film Zac Efron starred in back in 2012 called At Any Price. Remember this photo at the At Any Price premiere back when Zac was trying to break out from the teen Disney branding? You might also remember that it was right around that time too that Zac started to have problems that kicked off a series of unfortunate events. So I went down the rabbit hole, and the more you dig, the more you see the correlations between Zac spending time with Mohammed and Zac winding up in the hospital. Like how in 2019, Zac was airlifted to a hospital in Brisbane, Australia after reportedly suffering a case of typhoid while shooting his reality show in Papua New Guinea, ironically called Killing Zac Efron. Which, it's a little odd because typhoid is one of the vaccines the CDC recommends before traveling somewhere like New Guinea where typhoid is common. And the timing coincides with this narrative from another blind item that came out in January 2020, quote, "I told you earlier this year that the Svengali was back in the life of the former Disney star turned A-/B+ list adult actor. Then, a few months later, the actor almost ends up dead, just like the last time they were together, which is why the actor got out," unquote. And it coincides with a blind item from a couple of weeks before Zac's hospitalization in Australia. Quote, "This past summer, I wrote about the foreign-born producer who seemingly is in control of the lives of several top actors and actresses. For years, he pushed the buttons of this former A-list tweener actor who is probably A-/B+ list as an adult and is someone all of you know," unquote. Obviously, that tracks since he keeps referring to Zac this way, but mentioned he was a Disney star too in the other one. Quote, apparently he discovers some damaging information the actors don't want revealed and then uses that against them to do more things they also don't want out, unquote. And then remember how we said Zach was seeming unwell while undergoing his 6-month transformation into Von Erich for Iron Claw in 2023? A blind item saying, quote, the former Disney actor turned A- list adult actor / HGH lover is doing the whole beck and call thing of his personal Svengali. Unquote. I mean, how powerful could this producer be? Apparently powerful enough that he just officiated a backyard wedding that Elon Musk attended. Seriously, that soiree looks like half normal people and half wax museum replicas of the most famous people on the planet. And because it all comes back to the Svengali, remember how Zach attended the Venice Film Festival only a few weeks after his hospitalization? Well, guess who was being presented with a prestigious award at Venice this year? That's right, Mohammed Al-Turki. Looking back at the summer of 2024, Zach was at a wedding with Mohammed in July. They were yachting together in August. Zach was hospitalized, and then 2 weeks later, they were back together at the Venice Film Festival. Are they just like the best of friends that spend all of their time together, and one just happens to be exorbitantly wealthy, footing all the bills? I don't know if it's the power imbalance or the yachting or all of the blind items, but something majorly does not feel right about it. But if Zach is in fact an addict with severe anxiety who's being blackmailed by a Svengali, God only knows what else is happening in the mega yachting culture.